Okay, we'll call a meeting of the Public Safety Committee to order. Roll call, please.
John,
Here.
Seth,
Here.
Crystal will not be here, Todd,
Here.
and Steve.
Here.
Okay. First period for public comment. Sir, you have anything?
Anybody online like to make a public comment? You can do so at this time. I think you're good, John.
All right, thank you. Number 3, review and approval of January 21st, 2025 meeting minutes.
Hang on a second, John. Did we have a public comment? I'm sorry, I might have jumped the gun a little too fast there.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, sorry, this is Phoebe Ng. I couldn't get my mic unmuted fast enough. I'm here for representing the Hockey Association. I am a board member on the Hockey Association, so I'm just here if there's any questions regarding our Class B beer license when that topic comes up.
Thanks, Phoebe. We'll call on you if we need you when we get to that agenda item, I think, John.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
Number 4, discussion with possible action regarding
No,
temporary.
we got to
Class
go
B.
back to number 3.
I
Sorry.
always do that when we kind of skip something. Number 3, review and approval of January 21, 25 meeting minutes. I had called that, really.
You did, John. This is Steve. I make a motion. We approve the minutes.
Moved by Steve,
Todd, I'll second the motion.
second by Todd. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion's carried. Now number 4. Discussion with possible action regarding temporary Class B beer license for Viroqua Fire Department Association annual fundraiser on March 15th, 2025.
Okay, these were actually in your packet for council, but this is their annual fire department fundraiser. You used hours of operation in military time of 1600 to 2300, so that's when it is. Okay, so on the 15th of March, I don't think there's anything different than what you guys have done in the past. So I guess if there's any questions, Chad is here to answer it for you.
Business as usual, nothing new.
This is Todd. I move to approve the temporary Class B beer license for the fire department annual fundraiser on March 15th.
Moved by Todd,
Steve, I'll second.
second by Steve. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion is carried. Number 5. Discussion with possible action regarding temporary Class B beer license for Viroqua Area Hockey Association hockey tournament on March 21st, 2025.
Okay, again, this was in your council packet, and we do have Phoebe here online if there is questions. This is running from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. on March 21st. They're going to be selling in the lobby of the arena. They do have, looks like Chloe as their licensed bartender, and it will be secured behind the bar. So I don't know if there's anything that, Phoebe, if you wanted to elaborate on that, but everything looks like it's in order on my end. So if anybody has any questions, she can unmute and answer them for you if you have any.
This is what they usually do too, isn't it?
I don't know if I've ever seen one for a men's hockey tournament fundraiser, but they've had some there in the past.
Yeah, okay.
This is a new event for us. We extended our ice 1 week this year in order to fundraise, and we decided to use our ice to sponsor a men's advanced tournament, which hasn't been done in Viroqua till this year. So this is a new event for us. Probably why you haven't seen this before.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or discussion? The motion would be in order.
This is Steve. I make a motion. We accept the Class B beer license for the men's hockey tournament at the Viroqua Community Rink.
Moved by Steve,
Todd, I'll second it.
seconded by Todd. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion is carried. Number 6, we're not doing tonight. Number 7, update on fire department building project.
Well, not a lot other than it continues to get closer to the end. They did get the training tower moved to the new site, so they're working on putting that back together and ready to go for us. I think this week they were going to try and start working on the roof, although tomorrow and Friday is going to probably ruin that. Although they got the rest of the siding on the building, there's a couple small spots, but the siding's up. They're getting close to putting on the overhead doors, and with any luck, in a couple weeks, they'll have it sealed up completely and pumping heat into it. So the admin part is pretty close to being done with the underground electrical and plumbing. And I believe tomorrow, I think he told me tomorrow they're actually coming to start leveling it out and graveling it and getting ready for concrete next week in the admin portion of it. So a lot happening, lots been changing. We did get a new on-site person from Keller. The previous one ended up moving to a different job outside of Keller, so they brought in a new guy. So far, he's been there about a week. About a week. And so far, I think he's actually going to be doing better for us. So a little more aggressive, a little more experience. He thinks a lot like I do, so I don't know if that's good or bad, but it feels good, feels right, and I think we're going to be happy with him. So aside from that, unless you have any questions, it's just business as usual. Budget's tracking pretty good. We will be bringing an update. Remember, hopefully next council. Help me remember that, Nate. Want to bring the overall change order stuff that I'd reviewed with you. It's tracking pretty close to that same thing, but there's always little things like the plumbing. They found a couple spots that plumbing is getting in the way of HVAC, or the standard stuff you'd think they'd figure out by now. But in general, it's staying pretty healthy compared to what you've seen in the past. So, I don't know. Other than that, did you have anything, Nate, or am I missing something that we've talked about?
Just a couple questions about how often are you on site, just for these guys to maybe understand what kind of tight eye you're sort of keeping on the project.
Short answer is too much. I think earlier on it was, I'd drive by there a couple times a day just to kind of check on things or whatever. But in general, Thursdays are our construction meeting where contractors and everybody gets together. That used to be about a 2-hour meeting. Lately, it seems like it's been a 4 to 5 hour meeting on Thursday. That should get better over time, hopefully again. But I would say another 2-3 times a week, they're calling to have me stop out or ask questions, or nothing bad, just questions. And a lot of it's owner operator confirmation of where something should go or how it should look or whatever. And so it's a bit more than what I expected, but not crazy yet. So
Any changes to their timelines about where they're at? Are they ahead a week, behind 2 weeks?
well, they're definitely behind. They keep trying to squeeze a a day out of it or whatever, but at the end of the day, what does that mean? They originally said July 1st. The on-site guys keep telling me it'll be about that, but then the higher ups at the office say don't bet on that. They're thinking more like August, September. So still not bad, but it's definitely not looking like July 1st, which I did give them a deadline. They originally talked possibly into October, and I said absolutely not. I said if it goes into October, you got serious problems because of many, many reasons. More department related stuff gets busy for us and a lot of stuff happening. So they put a drop dead date of September 1st. And I said, you got to hold to that because it'll become a complete nightmare for the members and myself to try and move in October. So, but we'll see, weather's been pretty good for them in general. We've had a couple of hiccups, obviously cold days, really cold days, things like that. But in general, it's just been kind of slow going. Some of the contractors are a little slower than what they should be. But they do good work. So I guess at the end of the day, that's more important, and we'll have a solid building that we'll be happy with. If it takes a little extra time, it takes a little extra time, so.
When did they move the training tower?
a couple weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it went fast. I
Yeah.
mean, they spent quite a few days cutting it apart and different things like that. But I think in a day and a half or so, they had all the containers down on the ground. And
Yeah,
then
one
in
day.
one day, it was restacked at the new location.
Yeah. Pretty
So they'll have many days of rewelding and obviously putting it back together. But yeah, it happened fast. March 1st, that's supposed to be 100% done. So, any other questions?
Just a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Early on the process, when I drive by it, just to me, and maybe I'm missing something, but to me, it just didn't seem like there was a very large work crew.
Yeah.
So many times there was like 3 people.
Yeah.
I mean, what was your feeling? Did you, a project of that magnitude, I would have thought there would have been a lot larger
Right.
crew. I was really shocked.
No,
Now it looks good. There's a lot of subs and a lot of stuff getting done, it seems to me, but early on, it seemed like it was just so pokey.
right.
Do you have that same feeling? or-
Absolutely, and
Okay.
probably even worse. So I feel, I know.
And soon as it started raining, all of a sudden there was all sorts of equipment sitting.
Wow. Wow.
Sitting there, where were they a month ago?
Well, no, you're spot on, Todd. So part of it had to do with what they said. Like obviously earlier on, they had all that dirt work, right, and problems with dirt and things like that. Once they got going on that, then it was the footers and all that other stuff. But yeah, they were about a half a crew short of what they had promised. Kerry had promised, right? Nope. Yep. So and then it got better, but now it kind of appears that maybe it's a little light again. But they said you'll have some of that because sometimes it's detail work where they got to get caught up on certain details and then they bring in more and then they hit it hard again. So, but definitely they missed some windows of opportunity in my opinion. Help. So, and Keller's aware of it. Keller has been, they've been pretty hardcore on them about that and been some fights that they asked me to please not get involved and let them handle it. So, but yes. So,
Anybody else? Okay, we'll move on to number 8, police and fire department updates.
so I don't have a lot to add because I've already been talking, but, the year-end report for 2024, just so you're aware, I'd planned on doing it next week, but there was a conflict, so it moved ahead. We're close. I was waiting for Tri-State ambulance numbers. I think those are important for you guys to see. And their numbers are quite interesting to digest and figure out. But so I'm getting close. That's really what I'm down to now. But I think it's important to kind of talk about that and how many calls they're running in our district versus what we're doing and how that's all meshing together. So again, hopefully it'll probably be next month now, obviously. So, but it is coming. So I apologize for not having it ready tonight. Aside from that, I talked about that. One other thing I think is important to make you aware of, the last couple of weeks have been pretty crazy for the guys and gals. Some pretty rough calls, some deaths, some pretty serious trauma type situations, and some fires, some mutual aid help to our partners, but we've had some of our own. So again, it's been pretty chaotic, pretty stressful for quite a few of the members. So just good. I think it's good for you guys to know that they've been busy and they've been, some things are weighing on them, I think. On a good note, we're up to 5 juniors now, junior firefighters. So we grew by 1. Pretty excited about that. And then I've also got, I think 3 or 4 new members, and there's 1 or 2 more showing interest to join. So that's looking really good. A couple of them I've actually been on the department in the past. One had retired for a period of time. Another one moved away. They're now at one moved back. The other one's, interested in getting back involved or whatever. So that's some huge benefit right there because they've got the training from us, so it'll be kind of a seamless transition for them or bringing them in. So some good action on some membership. So I am going to probably bring something to you guys eventually about looking at our ordinance that spells out the department size. And most of you probably remember or whatnot. I think the number is 40. And then it spells out how the officers are structured and things like that. But one thing that's changed since that ordinance is that we've got the whole medical side of things now. And so we're hoping to have a problem coming up here pretty quick. And what I mean by that is right now our medical only people are sitting in that number of 40, right? And so they're taking up some spots of firefighter related or educated members. So what I'm hoping is I'm going to need those spots. And so I'm going to look at putting together something to bring back you guys and see if you'd entertain upping that number, removing the medical out of that and kind of having their own standalone little piece. Things to consider, obviously, and why I've been dragging my feet and kind of waiting for the timing is it's not a huge expense, but obviously you got to look at that, right? Because there could be gear, there could be equipment, there's obviously training, there's things like that. But as far as like true, like call volume payroll piece of it, not so much, because again, we keep that pretty tight, like we've talked. But again, just so you're aware, things I'm thinking about or maybe going to need out of the group to discuss some guidance and whatever. So, good problem to have because it's been a long time since we've felt like we might get up to a solid number, and that number is probably even more important today than it was in the past just because of the volume of calls, and maybe some members can scale back a little bit before they completely burn the house down type of thing and burn themselves out. So I think that's all I've got really for updates. There's a lot of stuff going on, but yeah, I mentioned that last month. Entry-level firefighting class starts in March in-house, so that'll be good. All the juniors are going to try and take it. There might be, we do have one of those new members I was talking about that'll be taking it. Yeah, so just a lot happening. Any questions? Thoughts? Good.
Fun to watch the excitement in the juniors.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're just wounds.
It's young blood, let's say, and
Yeah.
they're just enthused and a lot of them are close friends, and so they really get along. It's good and bad, right? But last night we did a training over at the school, and I split them up so that things like that, and they're good kids. So I'm not saying I'm negative, but what it does do, I think, for some of the older members or seasoned, whatever term you want to use, is I think it gives them a little boost, like a little more positive energy, and so I think it'll be good. So
Okay, I don't see anybody from the police department here.
Yeah, Rick is at a Chiefs conference this week, so he
Okay.
is occupied.
Second period for public comment. Anybody online?
No, John, it sounds like the only one who was here for an earlier agenda item, so I think you're good.
Okay. A motion to adjourn would be in order.
Steve, I make a motion, we adjourn.
By Steve,
I'll second it.
second by Todd. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 We'll stand adjourned.